Oh shit! Yo, nobody do this in Africa. I used to do this in school. Oh, just brought back memories. I used to do this.
So this is the first grade
Boom,
class.
boom, 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 boom. I'll never forget this. This is like a school tradition. That's a school tradition right there. 3 lines.
If you had to watch iShowSpeed go to Africa before you finally realized Africa is more than just poverty, dirt, and huts, then congratulations. You're just now catching up. Because Africa has always been more than the stereotypes people were taught to believe. So Speed just launched this huge project called Speed Goes to Africa. It's a 28-day tour across 20 African countries, where he's live streaming everything in real time. The tour started in Angola on the 29th of December 2025, and it's scheduled to run all the way through January, ending on the 26th of January 2026. And honestly, the most interesting part isn't even Speed's streams, it's people's reactions. So many of y'all are genuinely shocked seeing modern cities, culture, nightlife, infrastructure, and that's wild to me. Because Africa didn't suddenly change overnight. What's actually happening is that the outdated, inaccurate image of Africa you've been fed your entire life is finally falling apart. Africa is not one country. It's not a monolith. And it's definitely not just what Western media has reduced it to. So if Speed in Africa is shocking to you, that says way more about what you were.
So let me tell you something. Speed's Africa streams, they hit differently, fam. Way better than his streams anywhere else, especially in Europe. I'm noticing it. And I gotta ask, are you noticing too? Because it's all love over there. The vibes, pure good energy, no drama, no crazy names being yelled at him. Just people vibing, doing his catchphrases, embarking with him like it's a whole movement. And hold up, he even met the president of Angola. You know, he's out here living, doing races, and it's all good times. Honestly, this is the energy we need everywhere. But here's the thing. Why are the people in Africa treating Speed so much better than in some other places? Especially Eastern Europe, where it's not always the same vibe. Could it be that people have been misrepresenting Africa for years? Maybe they don't really know the place. I'm just saying, I'm noticing a difference. Africa's showing up, and it's a whole nother level.
Ethiopia, bro. Ethiopia has, I think it's like, bro, it's one of the biggest cities ever, bro. It took me 1 hour just to get to my, it took me 1 hour and 30 minutes just to get to my hotel. That's how big this city is.
Block fam, what's poppin' with y'all, man? Look, if you've been keeping up with iShowSpeed Africa Tour Stream, as you can see, they've been lying to us. For the people that never thought they was lying to us, now you seeing it real time. No edits, no AI, no none of that, bro. Tap in, man.
The advantage of what iShowSpeed has inadvertently done or exposed is that now there's a mass awakening for many who are seeing how the global supply chain works for the very first time. It's the same conversation we've had many times. Africa is a source of raw materials instead of it being a hub for finished luxury. Why can't it be Africa?
Materials are mined and sourced in Africa. They are then refined and sold many times back to Africa or Africans, whether on the continent or in the diaspora, at much higher prices. There is no chocolate in Switzerland, right? The chocolate actually came from Ghana, refined in Switzerland, packaged and sold back to Africans at a $5, where it was actually sourced from Africa. And that happens with all the natural.
I'm glad Speed went to Africa and actually showed you guys how nice it is, because the amount of people that think all Africa is about is people walking around saying ooga booga, begging for water, no money. Like, that's not how it is. Like, the West always portrays Africa as this poor country with no water, no food, everybody's dying. And yeah, it is like that in some places. But if you go to the capitals of these places, they're just as good as the West. Like, people are so surprised to see that they got skyscrapers and fancy buildings and all this stuff. Like, bro, how did you not notice? Like, this is why people on Kalshi are putting all their bread for Speed to win Stream of the Year 2026. And I ain't gonna lie, now that Kai Cenat quit and he's reading books now, who else is gonna win it?
You know why they call this door the door of no return? It's simple.
Because you never return.
Exactly. Exactly.
I never come back.
When they pass this door, they never come back.
It's bye bye forever. That's why you call it door of no return. Look at this.
Yes.
Look at this. Door of no return.
Is this real?
iShowSpeed was recently in South Africa and his presence caused quite the commotion. So let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Liba Lion, the voice of marketing and your friend in all things marketing, brand building, and sometimes pop culture. Now American streamer and YouTuber iShowSpeed was recently in South Africa and it's caused a stir online. Some people are saying that he ignored South African influencers and creators. Some people are saying that his presence really shows how great South Africa is and it was really good PR for South Africa. And there's just a lot going on. So first I'm going to tell you who he is. I'm going to read his bio from Wikipedia. Then we're going to talk about what actually happened whilst he was here. Darren Jason Watkins Jr., born on January 21, 2005, known online as iShowSpeed or simply Speed, is an American YouTuber and online streamer. He's one of the most popular online streamers and internet personalities in the world. Watkins is known for his dramatic and energetic behavior showcased in his variety live streams, as well as his in real life IRL streams in worldwide locations. He's been viewed as a cultural ambassador as his visits to countries often showcase their cultures and inventions to both domestic and international audiences. He's got very impressive numbers, and I'm going to focus on the YouTube ones. His channel is called iShowSpeed, and the genres are gaming, let's play, IRL, traveling, football. He's got 47.1 million subscribers, and he was able to hit the 47 million mark when he was in South Africa. So that's a very, very big deal. And he's got about 6.5 billion views.
Hold on, bro. Wait, chat, wait. Wait. Oh my God, we about to hit it. We about to hit it. 47 million. Oh my God, 47 million in South Africa. 47 million in South Africa! No!
We cannot deny iShowSpeed's influence. In fact, on TikTok, he's got about 45.2 million followers, and his influence keeps growing. To me, he reminds me of a Mr. Beast in the sense of how he has all this energy. Everything of his feels alive, you know? And you can tell that he's the kind of person who likes to be around other people. That's what you see from the content that he posts online. Now, he was recently in South Africa, and he was in Joburg and Cape Town. He was dancing with Buntle Modisele, decked out in Zulu attire, doing his flip. I mean, he was completely within, and it was quite nice watching the content.
What the fuck? What's going on, my nigga? Let it go, Zach. What's going on? You gotta do the Zulu dance. Zulu attire. You're a Zulu warrior now. You're a Zulu warrior. The fuck? Hold it like this. Yeah.
Now that iShowSpeed's African tour has come to an end, it is high time we give credit and shout out to East Africa, especially Kenya and Ethiopia. These countries understood the assignment. These countries delivered as it's supposed to be delivered. The Kenyan president did an official video welcoming iShowSpeed into his country. Ministers in Ethiopia were involved in iShowSpeed in their country. They even planted an iShowSpeed tree. An iShowSpeed tree in Ethiopia. Do you see how when iShowSpeed visits any country, he doesn't let go of Habari Yako? He doesn't let go of the Kenyan and Ethiopian bracelets? He can't stop talking about these two countries because he got impacted by these countries. These countries didn't have to send celebrities to come and fame scratch on iShowSpeed. The people themselves understood the assignment. They knew what they had to do. And from the first second to the last second, they delivered nothing but top-notch culture, top-notch tradition, top-notch camaraderie, top-notch Ubuntu, top-notch. Just think about anything top-notch that is beautiful in this continent. These two countries delivered and delivered like it was an everyday something. Do you know that these countries sold themselves the highest in this iShowSpeed's African tour? Now everybody wants to visit Kenya. Everybody wants to visit Ethiopia. Come to think of the fact that these countries have their tourism sector as one of the highest thing that boosts their economies. But then again, this happens and everybody's like gagged about the whole situation. This is mind-blowing. Kenyans and Ethiopians, you deserve medals, each and every one of you. You delivered, you did something different, something that we cannot explain. And how you guys filled the streets, how you guys turn up in your numbers. How did you guys even plan all of this? Big ups to these two countries, mind-blowing countries, amazing countries, and once again, you all have proven to the world that as Africans, we have sense. Oh yes, we know what we're doing. Oh yes, you have given us bragging rights. You have given us bragging rights. I love you all so much. You all amazing people, and shout out to each and every one.
Now, Africa's history, Africa's story, African secret has been now been exposed to the world now, because the Africans have been hiding. Not because they wanted to hide, but we have been forced to hide ourselves from the public, from the global, from the world that maybe is so into Africa. Everywhere, they demand to have Africa on their back as their allies. You know, people are denying that they ain't Africans because they are living in America, because they have been born in America. But that's not the story, because Africa has been being hidden for some reasons. By the Western, by the whites, by the Europe, by the France. Now, African history has now been exposed to the world. I have clips here. Watch for that. Tell me in the comments, because I need to know from the people who are maybe out there watching Africa from the behind the scene, how they see Africa. Clips here. I will come back.
iShowSpeed was in Egypt, and apparently they got some very strict rules about telling the truth, like why the Sphinx's nose is no longer there. I've never heard someone give a more avoidant answer than both of the tour guides who he was asking questions to. And admittedly, Speed made sure that he still, kind of had to skirt around a little bit of that for some very valid reasons. They genuinely do things to you if you start having a little too much speech. But I need you to understand, I know, you know, Speed knows, and they know what really happened to the Sphinx's nose, why it's no longer on the statue, why the one piece is off. And as per usual, Speed is continuing to expose even more things about a bunch of different people, all while on his Africa tour. Now, I will say, it is very cool to see that Speed is the first streamer to ever be inside of the pyramids. Just Speed casually making history every day. But Egypt, I'm looking at you. No, I'm really looking at you. And I just want to let you know that I'm noticing you noticing that I'm noticing, because I'm noticing. Oh, and grown man, by the way. Don't believe me? Watch this.
Now that iShowSpeed's African tour is over, Kenyans have a confession to make. Because Kenyans, how on earth did you all pull through with that crowd? How did you all fill the streets with that crowd? Is it like it was did you guys have a family meeting, within your country? That was like, okay, when he comes, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Because the way you took the bar so high, you just took the bar from so high, especially as far as concurrent views are concerned, concurrent subscribers are concerned. You guys just moved to, I was like, what the hell? Where is that crowd coming from, guys? The fact that your president made a video to welcome iShowSpeed. Hey, my goodness. And the funny thing is, it's not only iShowSpeed, by the way, because some few months ago, Thames was in Kenya for a show. Shut down. One of her biggest solo shows she has ever organized anywhere in the world. Massive shutdown. Recently, Master KG, the South African superstar, crooner of Jerusalem, was in Kenya. Shut down. Massive shutdown. And they have been doing this over and over and over again with so much ease. Let's not even talk about how Kenya is literally the hub for all of East African artists, especially the greatest of the greats. Because I remember when Zuchu shared her statistics about her most viewed countries, Kenya was the top. Diamond Platinum, the same thing, Kenya was the top. A good number of others, Harmonize, and a good number of others, Kenya was the top country. So I'm just like, how does Kenya pull through with this crowd? How do you all pull through with this crowd? You all are active on social media. The Kenyan online army, you all are active. The Kenyan offline army, you all are active. Ha! Whoa! Kenyans, please tell us, what was the secret? We need to know. Because it's not like you're the most populated African country. It's not like you're the second or the third or the fourth or the fifth. But the crowd. Wow. But at the same time, we have to thank Kenyans, guys, because they really did the most during iShowSpeed's visit to Africa. Kenya was very different. Kenya was distinct. Kenya put in some level of energy and dedication to this. And I love how their country was sold perfectly in the eyes of the world. Now everybody wants to fly into Kenya, right? Which is currently one of the most important sources of income to the Kenyan government, tourism, right? Because we know Kenya is the only country with a safari, in the middle of the capital city. I just want to visit Kenya right now. I want to feel that Kenyan experience. I feel like it's something just different. It's just different. It's different, and I want to taste it. I want to feel it. I want to communicate with it. Right, Kenyans, let's make things happen. Where are my Odogo Kenyan followers, guys? You all do something about this now. Do something about this. Let's make it happen, okay? Kenyans, you still have to confess though. How did you pull through?
Speed and Botswana is blowing people's minds.
If you want to buy one of these diamonds,
Yeah, who do I talk to?
you'd have to talk to De Beers or the site holders, because we don't sell. We only have 2 customers.
Let me explain why this matters. But first, I'm Pamela, a lawyer, GIA certified diamond expert, and founder of Lola Ade, an African-owned, responsibly sourced fine jewelry brand that gives back. Now, Botswana is one of the top diamond producing countries in the world. They produce over 20% of the global diamond supply. But they only have 2 types of buyers, De Beers and a small group of elite companies called site holders. Think of a site holder like an ultra exclusive membership with direct access to the mines. There are only about 70 site holder companies in the entire world. It's invitation only. And to even qualify, insiders estimate you must commit to buying at least $15 million worth of rough diamonds per year from De Beers. So most jewelers, even successful ones, will never get to buy directly from Botswana. Here's the path a natural diamond can take. From the African mine to De Beers, to the site holders, the cutters, polishers, wholesalers, jewelers/retailers, and then to you. A natural diamond can pass through 7 to 15 different hands before it reaches your fingers. And with each hand, another markup. Here's how we got here. In 1967, Botswana discovered massive diamond deposits. At the time, they were a newly independent country, rich in natural resources, but one of the poorest countries in the world, with little to no expertise in diamond mining and no access to global markets. De Beers at that time controlled about 80% of the world's diamond supply. They had the expertise, they had the capital, and most importantly, the market access. In 1969, De Beers and Botswana together formed Debswana, a 50-50 joint venture. To Botswana's credit, they've negotiated better terms over the years and used diamond revenues to transform their economy. But here's what hasn't changed. De Beers still controls the distribution. De Beers still controls the pricing. And De Beers still controls who gets access through the site holder system. So when Speed asks, why can't I buy this from you? This is why. African countries mine the diamonds, but they don't control the supply chain. The wealth leaves Africa. And African businesses almost entirely locked out of the top tiers of this value chain. We're nearly invisible, not because we lack talent or expertise, but because of systemic issues basically designed to keep people out. This is exactly why what I do matters. As a proud African, Nigerian, a lawyer and GIA certified diamond professional, less than 1% of other globally certified diamond professionals look like me and have my credentials. The barriers to entry.
The only country, that view is insane. Look at that South African view, bro. That shit is dead ass beautiful, bro. Imagine living here.
You guys can see iShowSpeed's reaction of seeing the beauty of the continent of Africa. Right now, I think he's in South Africa, maybe Johannesburg, if I'm not mistaken. Yesterday, he was in Angola. Tomorrow, probably going to go to Botswana, another country. So probably going to spend like a day and a half in each country. And I can't wait when he goes to Nigeria, Ghana, Morocco, Egypt, Kenya, Uganda, all this beautiful country, Rwanda. I don't want to forget that you're probably going to go to 24 countries to show you what each country in Africa has. And you guys can be shocked what is each country has the beauty, infrastructure, and all these buildings and all these things. I can't wait when you guys to show Western world that what is Africa has to offer. You know, as soon as you tell someone you're from Africa, they think, oh, you guys don't have cars, you guys don't have houses. Where do you guys live? Do you guys live with a lion? Have you seen a lion before? Like, they ask you stupid ass question. But I'm so happy iShowSpeed right now touring Africa to let people see what is Africa is about. Enjoy your tour, iShowSpeed in Africa, and show.
How you do that? Google the spirit of death. Hey, Google spirit of death. Yeah. All right. Hell! Oh, hell no! That's the spirit of death! Hey, chill out, chill out. Spirit of death! Spirit of death, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wait, so they're dead?
Yeah.
These are dead people.
Oh my God! What the? It ain't nobody in there. What the hell is this? What the hell?
That is spirits in there. Chat, nobody's in here. What the heck? Wait, how is this moving? How is he moving? What the hell? Oh my gosh. How is it moving like that? Oh, how is he moving? They all moving.
Y'all know I was gonna see this, man. This is demonic. So if you don't know, Speed is on his African world tour. He likes to travel to different countries, continents, and he shows the culture, the traditions. Oh, that's cool. And there's a lot of beautiful cultures and traditions, but this one just ain't one of them. This is a voodoo, witchcraft, ancestral worship ritual. It's called Kumpo and Gungun Samai Kanaga, and it's witchcraft. It is voodoo. It is black magic. It is demonic. It's a masquerade. It's a demonic spirit that's literally moving underneath these stray or hay costumes. People are smoking, drinking, playing spiritual drums, dancing, all these things, and invoking spirits, manifesting spirits, honoring dead, and trying to connect to ancestors, which are just demons, familiar spirits masquerading. A lot of them is curses. You can't even touch them or you get cursed. But Speed is here dancing with them, all these different things. I understand, Speed, you streaming, you trying to show culture, tradition, all those things. You're just trying to experience Africa. I get it, but at the same time, you unintentionally, ignorantly are opening doors to demonic spirits, to witchcraft in your life. One of those people straight up told him, hey, that's a spirit of death, and you decide to play tag with it. And Speed, I'm just warning you, bro, stop playing with these different things in Africa, bro, because it might look like fun or innocent tradition and culture, but it's actually the very thing that could open a dangerous spiritual door in your life. You got to repent, you got to renounce, and ultimately, you need Jesus. Jesus is the only authority over the spiritual realm that you're literally playing with. You don't want to end up needing some heavy prayer and deliverance.
Cote d'Ivoire, you guys came out for Speed. The same guy I said I wanted to see, come out, came out for Speed. You know, the guy that moves his foot fast. That's the same guy I was talking about. And like everybody, just like Liberia, everybody and their mama came out. Man, West Africa is lit. The country is beautiful. When he raised the camera and looked at the skyline, oh my God, I swear that was Miami. If you do the skyline in Miami and look at Cote d'Ivoire, you can barely tell the difference. Like, you guys were lit. I know he was sick and he couldn't do much, but you guys came out and represented, and that's all that matters. He's in Ghana today. I just finished watching the stream. I'm gonna make my comment because Ghana.
First of all, Africa is a global icon. Africa is a global icon to every country, to every continent. They admire Africa. Some of them call us a country. I wonder how Africa has leaders that have been going to America in the meeting with the Trump, and that's calling Africa as a country. Now, Africa have their own secrets. Have their own what they hide. Africa has gems. Like, just let me use an example of traveling in Kenya. Nairobi has its own gems, right? Has its own beautiful places. Like, you can go there, chill, and have some good times instead of going to Mombasa, going anywhere in the world. Because Africa has been meant to be like to be demeaned by the West, by the Europe, by America. Because as they know, whenever Africa steps step ahead of them, they will not be able to acquire Africa anymore because they'll be depending on Africa for everything. So Speed came in Africa and exposed everything that we have been holding on to. They knew that they were there, but they never wanted them to be known by the world out there because they keep on hiding secrets because they don't want to see Africa demeaned, Africa remaining to be beggars. You know, when Speed went to South Africa, to Nigeria, they are begging for money. So that's the one thing that the West wants to see us begging for AIDS, begging for help, begging for money, begging for medicine, begging for food from them. But no, not anymore, because now Africa can farm, and Africa can make the fertilizer. Africa can make crops. Africa can manufacture their own food in their own country. Unlike America are maybe let me say that they are importing everything, almost everything. Right? Because I've seen there's a guy who was saying that the other world, they depend on America on everything. Cassava are being grown in America. Where in America do you grow cassava that can feed the whole world? You can't feed your own people. How can you feed the whole world? Cassava are being grown in Nigeria. right? And find that the Nigerian people, they grow cassava, but they sell them to America. All right. So the country remain stake whereby the country can't be able to afford some food. Now people are lacking people are lacking jobs in Africa because people from Africa, they want money, they want dollars. Feel me? So when you see that somebody is out there trying to make a living, trying to make something for themselves, America don't want you like that way. America, they want to use our things, but they don't want to applaud us. They want to applaud Africa. That's why FBS are in fact denying that they're not from Africa. Mind you, the only people who born them, who fought for America for the past 400 years, are from Africa, slaves. So I don't know where do they take slaves from to build America. Today they are calling Africa that like Africa is people are homeless, people are staying in the bush, people are still beggars, are still asking for help from other countries. Coffee is being grown in Africa. Everything is grown. Everything. Petroleum is from Nigeria. Gold is from everywhere. Congo has its own cobalt. But look at Congo today. Congo are fighting. Congo are killing each other for nothing. That's what the whites want. That's what the West want. Us fighting each other, divided. They get in. They give you more aids. American can cause war to Africa and come back to help Africa. Why? They cause war and then they make you ask for help from them, aid from them. Whenever they give you aid, they ask you to give them something in return. Meaningful. Like whenever they give them aid, they ask for cobalt. They ask for petrol, for coffee, for cassava. So you end up being in debt. Africa's being destroyed because of their still being destroyed by the debt they are in. Ibrahim Traoré got power, and then he was like, I want to pay you everything that you have been ever given to us. After that, you want to leave this country. Leave our country alone. Go live in your country. We'll do everything in our country, invest in our country, build a country like Ethiopia. The best being built by its own money, its own people. Don't depend on people's aids, help from other countries. That's why the youth in Ethiopia, they choose to live in the country rather than going to live in another country, because our country has everything, has jobs. America has been being exposed by knowing that America has everything it takes. Jobs, good life, like everything you want is in America. Ask me why people are now living in America jobless. Healthcare is, my must pay for healthcare. In South Africa, people are getting free healthcare. Then they call Africa that Africa is poor and everything. While the country, people are there, people are many, they have money. But people are paying for healthcare, and it's maybe somehow becoming a luxury to them because they can't afford it anymore. It's up to people to think of building their own empires. Because empire are not being built through words. Sacrifice, sweat, blood. If America want to build America, they should build America. Tell me why today in America, buildings are standing tall and finished. Lack of labor. They were there voting, cheering up, deport for people that want to get the jobs for our own. We want to be getting a job because they are taking our jobs in the US. Which jobs? People have been taking in the country and they have been getting nothing. They have been working, paying tax, paying rent, and paying for food, for everything. Still deport them. Food is a staple food. Any country can't live without food. Whenever a country has food, why is Ibrahim Traoré investing in food so much? Because this country is a desert. But he chose to build to build dams, to build water, to collect water for his people. Because whenever there's drought, they can just water the plants, then they get food. Whenever a country has food, the country is secured, safe, peaceful. In America can be able to deport workers in the farms. How will you be able to make food for your people? How will you be able to make food? That's why today in the market there's no anything that's affordable to anybody in America. Somebody can't be go for shopping with like $400 for a week. If you can't afford food, then what else will you be able to afford? So people in America are working to survive. America, without work, you can't live. They work to live. They don't live to work. So America is collapsing. Native is collapsing. So Africa, history has been there for a long time. In their mind, we are beggars. We are homeless. We are hopeless. But in our mind, we know that you depend on us. You can't do anything without us. We are what you want. We are the price here. So respect us. Africa, don't beg black people from America to be part of us, because they tend to ignore Africa so much because they feel like Africa hate them so much. Why would we hate you? Why would us hate you for anything? And who asked you to come back to Africa? Why don't come to Africa? Just stay in America. Peaceful and nobody will bother you. No. Don't think like we want you in Africa. So because you are denying us, if a mother born a child, then the kid denies the mother, then the kid doesn't deserve the love from the mother. I know that. And anybody should be thinking of growing from nothing to something. Then American people are now tending to act like we depend on them. We're depending on you for what? After you deporting the workers from America, do you heard that there's death in Africa, that people are dying because of lacking job? No, never. So stop being out there supporting that maybe might hurt you later. And one day you will look for us. I know that for sure. But one thing I should let you know, this whole thing is going to divide us as Africans, and we'll end up fighting ourselves, fighting our brothers, fighting our families and everything. And we lose a lot. Be blessed, and I love you. Tell me in the comments. Do you feel like Africa has been exposed, yes, to the world, but how much do you know America? The secrets, the lies, propaganda and everything. You know what they talk about Africa is the opposite of their country. But they can never expose their country because they fear. They feel ashamed of their own country, because I'm like, after all this trouble and everything, how can I stand here and shaming my country and trying to apply Africa? Can't do that. Be blessed. More than peace be with you. Till next episode, I'm out.